Good morning, and welcome to Lesson 2, Video 3. Now, if this is your first time watching, two crucial pieces of instructions. None of this is going to make any sense unless you're looking at the latest version of the first set of lesson texts. Don't worry, you can download it for free. Beneath this video there are two links. If you don't see those links, then you're not on YouTube's dedicated page for this video, but that's not a problem. That's an easy fix. I wish all life's problems were as easy to fix as this. Just find the little YouTube logo over here, somewhere around there. Give that a click or two, and instantly you'll be on the right page, or pretty close to instantly. Okay, the second link below this video, and you might have to enlarge, push some buttons to find it. It's no problem. You're smarty. You can do this. The second link below this video will take you to the class materials page. Some of the class materials you got to buy from a Nepalese shop or supplier or YouTube or some such thing, but also a bunch of them are free. You can get a free essay, free download of Buddha of Compassion, which I suggest you print out, and of course the latest version of the free PDF first set of lesson texts. You don't have to print it out. You can just download that to your desktop, and that won't take long at all. So in fact, if I remember serves correctly, you can even watch it through your browser. So it's super easy. Okay. Second thing, I warned you there'd be two caveats. If this is your first time watching me, guys, this is the third lesson, the third video of the second lesson. This is too advanced for you. Go back to the first lesson. There were 40 videos in the first lesson. Go back to the first part, the first video of the first lesson. Work your way through it. You can watch a couple of videos a day. You can watch one video a day. In no time at all, you'll get caught up, but you'll do it in a way that ensures comprehension. Set yourself up for success. Okay, everyone here is a go-getter. You're humble enough to have watched all the lessons in order. You're intelligent enough to download the class materials and set yourself up for every success. Now that we've squandered the first 2 3/4 minutes, let's get on with the lesson. Join me, won't you please, on page 13. You'll know we're on the same page because the heading reads Chenra Zig's Intellectual Mystic Paths to Enlightenment. Below that, about an inch or so below that, it reads The Passive Visualization of the Great Compassionate One. That's how you know you're on the right page. Okay, let's look at the first quatrain. A quatrain is a set of 4 verses or 4 lines. Okay, yesterday we explored the first 2/3 of the first line at arm's length above my head. And now we're going to explore the final third of that first line plus the second line in its entirety. And it reads as follows. And those of all other sentient beings pervading space. What is it we all have in common? We're all self-centered. My late first stepfather used to say, basic definition of comedy is you slipping and falling on a banana peel. Basic definition of tragedy is me slipping and falling on a banana peel. All of us, to some degree or another, are self-centered. That separates the foolish from the spiritual is not the presence or absence of self-centeredness, but the awareness of self-centeredness and the willing to do something strategic about it. So we all tend to be self-centered. But we combat that when we play with this visualization, even this passive visualization, by not just considering the space above my head, but the space above every living being's head. So let's take a moment, just a moment, to consider the infinity of living beings. I'm not sure if you're a sci-fi geek like myself, but I loved the Matrix movie, especially the first Matrix movie. Really was a standalone work of art. One of my favorite things in the first Matrix movie was something they called the construct, which was an infinite expanse, an infinite plane of white plane that seemed to extend infinitely in all directions. So imagine you're there now, just yourself, dressing the way you're dressed right now, looking the way you're looking right now. If you just rolled out of bed, then you've got that head and that boo-boo face, that's okay. You got the eye boogers, that's okay. So now imagine the entirety of this infinite plane is filled with your replicants. Each one, the size and the shape and the sound of you, dressed exactly like you, standing exactly like you. Now imagine that each of those replicants is another living being. Maybe a man, maybe a woman, maybe a human, maybe a non-human, maybe an insect, maybe a reptile, maybe an animal, maybe a mammal, maybe a bird of the air, maybe a fish of the sea, maybe a worm of the earth. All of them, in your aspect, filling that expanse. Now, do you have to visualize that perfectly? No, you don't. It's just a fun toy to play with. When kids play with toys, they don't worry about perfection. They worry about fun and entertainment and exploration. And that's what we're doing now. We're exploring this idea. Why do we, first of all, why do we consider the infinity of living beings on this world and all other worlds, and this galaxy and all other galaxies, and this universe and all other universes? Because we tend to be self-centered, and that's a marvelous antidote for that. Why do we consider them looking like us? Because first of all, we're most familiar with our form. Second enough, we've been gazing in the mirror since we've been old enough to see into one. Second, to remind us that we're all pretty much the same. How? How are we the same? Some of us like cream corn, some of us like whole corn. Some of us like fruit and vegetables, some of us like candy bars. How are we remotely the same? Simple. All of us are the same in that we hate pain. We want to escape pain and the causes of pain. How else are we the same? We all like pleasure. However we define pleasure, we all like pleasure. And we want more of it and the causes of pleasure. We want less of the bad, more of the good. In that arena, from that perspective, we're all the same. You see, my friends, compassion and love are the simple science of learning how to give a flying fuck about others. It begins with intention. And so we remember that we're not the center of the universe. We're one of many, many, many who are all alike in our aversion to suffering and our desire for pleasure. Wait! You might say, what about a masochist? Well, for a masochist, pain is pleasure. So it goes back to that proviso. However we define pleasure, we want more of it. However we define pain, we want less of it. We're all the same. We're all subject to cause and effect. We're all subject to interdependence. We're all subject to change. We're all subject to impermanence. We share these profound common denominators. Now you can say, but wait, Lama Jigme, if I'm just tearing through this quatrain, chanting my little tushy off at Mach 2 with my hair on fire, how am I supposed to visualize this perfectly? And the answer is you can't, and you're not. Just chant this with an open heart and an open mind, and entertain the possibility that on some deep, visceral level, these ideas could be playing in the amusement park of your inner mind. Let's see, how many minutes has this lesson been? This lesson's been just a little shy of 10 minutes. That's enough for today. I want to thank you for your time and your kind attention. I want to thank you for watching my videos, applying my videos, and doing the homework that you learned from the last set of lesson videos. And all that kind of good stuff. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Om Mani Padme Hum. Before you go, I want to draw your attention to the place in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. And there should be a subscribe button. Click that bad boy. If you scrub the cursor, it should reveal 3 vertical boxes. The bottom one, if you check that, will let you give you an email notification every time I upload a video. That would be the smart box to check. Now, before I mentioned, there were 2 links just below the video. We already discussed the bottom link. What about the top one? That takes you to the registration page where you can reserve your seat at the next set of weekly webinars. When do those begin? Friday, the 2nd of November. It's almost here. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.